What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and I have an amazing deck to bring you today. I'm not even gonna lie, it's amazing. It amazes me. Snorlax GX. Yeah, that's right. You heard right. Snorlax GX. He's a 190 basic. For those of you who either don't know or have clearly forgotten, I probably would have too normally. But this guy is just amazing. He's very energy heavy, but that's okay because we're gonna get around that just fine. I've actually gotten this guy fully powered for his 5 energy attack on my very first turn of the game. For 3 energy, he can do Collapse, which is 80 damage, and it puts him to sleep, which is good. You want this guy asleep anyway. For 5 energy, he can do 180 damage, which is a very powerful attack. Many mons just like completely fold when they get hit by his Thunderous Snore. But here's the thing. It can be used while he's asleep, but if he's not asleep, it does zippity doo dah. It does nothing. So we're going to want this guy asleep like all the time. But we also have his GX attack, which for 5 colorless does 210 damage. He pulverizing pancakes, which is like pretty much the most satisfying GX move I've ever pulled off. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And it puts him to sleep as well. But obviously you can only do it the one time. So the whole point of our deck is to Kiawe basically onto this guy on turn 1 to drop 4 fire energies onto him, and then your energy for the turn, heck, that's already 5 right there. And we do have ways to take advantage of if he gets knocked out, we can get the energies back. Mostly we're trying to get off his Thunderous Snore here. Now, of course, the question is, well, how can we make sure he's asleep? I mean, are we just going to collapse one turn and then try to Thunderous Snore the next and pray and try to switch things out? And how can you do that with Guzma? Because it's going to be switching your Snorlax out. Won't that wake him up? Don't worry, we've got you covered. So we want a sleeping Snorlax, Thunderous Snoring for 180, just sitting on everything. Just sitting on everything our opponents put out there for 180 damage. If only there were a Pokemon who could put him to sleep every turn. Oh, wait, there is. We're running Hypno. Breakpoint Hypno just says once per turn, you can leave both active Pokemon asleep, which is amazing on 2 levels. 1, it puts your Snorlax asleep so he can Thunderous Snore every turn without any worries, and you don't even have to worry about flipping that coin, until after you've already attacked. So always going to get off that Thunderous Snore. Plus, there's a coin toss chance for your opponent that if they somehow survive the attack, they might be asleep anyway, which is one more thing in their way before they can actually do their thing. So Hypno is just putting in the finest here. This guy, I've wanted to use him for so long. We're going to run 3 Drowsies because we really want to make sure we get Drowsy down on turn 1. Because ideally we get Snorlax down on turn 1 and we get Drowsy down on turn 1 and we Kiawe that turn because we're definitely not attacking, obviously, even if we go second. And then on the next turn we're going to promote up to Hypno. And then we can put our Snorlax to sleep and smack him with our Thunderous Snore for 180. That's the battle plan. So then we've got 5 other kind of backup supply Pokemon here. We've got Turtonator GX. His Nitro tank is amazingly perfect with Snorlax, because once your Snorlax gets knocked out, his 5 fire energies will go to the discard pile, and this guy can just Nitro tank him straight back onto the field. You can put him on another Snorlax GX and just straight up power him up, or put him on another Pokemon, like even including Turtonator if you want to go that route. Our backup attacker here is Ho-Oh GX. And you should probably know what he does by now, but obviously he can do a lot of work if he gets a bunch of energy suddenly dumped onto him. His Phoenix Burn comes to mind as an amazing use of a lot of energies. We've got our Tapu Koko here. He's basically just here to have a free retreat to make our Guzma always kind of optimal. But of course he can Flying Flip for 2 energy in this deck, which isn't too bad. And we do run double colorless energy, just a little bit. I wanted to try a mini Volcanion in this deck. Because I thought, okay, well, maybe we have to Pulverizing Pancake. Volcanion could bring energies back with Power Heater, since we won't be able to Nitro Tank if we've already fired our GX, right? But honestly, I think this guy was probably among the less useful. You might run a 3rd copy of our Stadium card, spoiler alert, it's Potown, over this guy if you want to, but I'll kind of leave that at your discretion. If you'd like the comfort of having the option of Power Heater, that totally makes sense. And our final card, Pokemon-wise, is going to be Tapu Lele GX, just so that we can Ultra Ball into the correct supporter. Like, obviously, that's an out to a turn 1 Kiawe right there. So, that's our Pokemon lineup right there. This deck, like I say, really blew me away with how often it could get Snorlax up on turn 1. Very impressive. We've got 4 Sycamores because, well, obviously we want to draw powerfully. Kiawe's our ideal turn 1 supporter, but if we don't Kiawe, we're pretty much guaranteed to be Sycamoring on turn 1 then. And we're going to run 3 ends just because it's just such a good draw suite right there. We're running 3 Guzma so that we can always make sure that our Thunderous Snore is connecting for a kill and preferably a 2 prize kill. And obviously we got a lot of mons that might not necessarily want to be in the active position under all circumstances. So if our opponent Guzmas us in a bad way, we can Guzma to get our guys right back up into the active slot. And finally, we are opting for 3 copies of Kiawe as well, just to make sure that we absolutely hit this guy on our first turn if we can. I mean, if we Kiawe on turn 2 or something, I mean, that's, it's livable, but it's not ideal. So anyway, moving on into our items, we got 4 Ultra Balls just to make sure. This is largely Hypno is the main thing I was Ultra Balling for, and that's just fine. Obviously, you can also get Lele with it. That's the other thing you're going to be getting. 2 Nest Balls. You're not really going to be Bridgeting because that's a supporter and we want a Kiawe, so I decided to opt for these Nest Balls and they did not let me down. They were pretty solid. I might even, honestly, I can see running a 3rd even. I went for 2 Rescue Stretchers just to make sure that if we had the Sycamore away one of our 1-ups, we could get it back. Obviously, it's a very powerful utility card. We're also running Town Map because we do have a number of things we will want to fish out of the prizes, and we had the room, so I thought, why the heck not? It fits, it makes sense. It can get those DCEs. It could get us our Turtonator if it's hiding in our prizes. So yeah, Town Map definitely going to be a useful utility there. We've got 3 Choice Bands because Thunderous Snore for 180 KOs a lot of things, but a few things can get away from it. But with Choice Band, that's 210, and that's 240 on our GX attack, which means a lot less things can get away from us. It means our GX, for one thing, can one-shot all by itself. Our GX can one-shot Gardevoir GX, which is amazing. And it also means you can one-shot 200 HP things like, say, Espeon GX, which is pretty awesome. But what about those things that do get out of range of like that Thunderous Snore at 210? We can't GX all the time, right? And maybe we want to save that GX for our Turtonator. Hence, our Potowns. Sorry, I was thinking about running 3. Now I'm running 2. I decided just to opt for the 2 Potowns. But like I say, honestly, you might be able to switch the Mini Volcanion for a 3rd Potown. And the whole idea here is for those big high HP Pokemon like Metagross and Gardevoir, you can get just a little bit more damage onto them to make sure that that Choice Banded Thunderous Snore picks up that one shot, which is kind of the whole concept of the deck. And as I already leaked to you a second ago, sorry about that, we are running 3 Escape Ropes. Once again, we want to make sure the right Pokemon is in the active slot at the right time. And honestly, we might not always start the game with the right mon. You start with a Drowsy, you don't want to pay the energy to retreat him necessarily. This can be a good way to keep our opponents cycling too. It's just a really nice card to kind of keep your field presence in the right position. And finally, we're running 3 Field Blowers. Yeah, we're running 3 Field Blowers. Why? Garbodor's Garbotoxin. That's scary for us because, let's face it, if they turn off our Hypno, our Snorlax is a lot less good. But it also has the convenient effect as well of getting rid of fighting Fury Belts in the event that something's trying to get away from Snorlax's Oko. So that definitely puts things back down in range for KO very easily. And it also maintains control of the field spell, like of the stadium. If we don't like that, we can get rid of it pretty easily and make sure that our opponents aren't setting up too much with things like, Brooklet Hill, Scorched Earth, etc. All right, and finally, our energies are pretty straightforward. I snuck in 2 DCEs, just 2 double colorless, because we're mostly relying on our basics, and our Kiawes are going to get those energies out of our deck really quickly, but they can't get these DCEs, so, it's just a little bit of acceleration for the times we have to put basic energies on without Kiawe. This can ramp us up to an attack pretty quickly, and our opponent might not expect it. 1 fire on Snorlax turn 1. Okay, maybe we had to Sycamore turn 2. They're thinking, oh, okay, you can't necessarily attack. Or maybe they've got that Vulpix you want to pick off. Just attach that DCE, and hey, you can collapse. You can deal 80. That's not bad. That's still good damage for probably your first attack of the game. That's not too bad. And we run fire energies, and we are running 12 of them for a total of 14 energies. You could run more, but honestly, once you've Kiawed and you're going to be drawing a lot, we have lots of draw support, it won't really be an issue. It wasn't in my experience. So that's really all about we need. In my mind, we're not running Elixir or anything like that, so we don't need to run more just to kind of make sure we hit it with Kiawe already going off. So there you go. That is the deck. It's a lot of fun. When people see Snorlax GX flip, they're just kind of like, wow, what? And once I see Kiawe, it's even more fun. It's fun, but it's also powerful at the same time. Definitely give it a try. I really enjoyed it. People enjoyed playing against it. So if you've got the card, Snorlax is pretty cheap. pick them up, give it a try. It's a fun thing to play around with. Take it to your local. And anyway, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check out my channel. Link is down below. See some more cool Pokemon videos, because why not, right? And I will see you guys next time.